Oh, g'day guys. I brewed an Australian sparkling ale. If you're interested, stay tuned. Well, an Australian sparkling ale has its own category. Um, it is a historic beer that's made famous by Cooper's, which is a South Australian family-owned brewery. This is my example here. It's got a nice white head on it, and it's slightly hazy, and it should be. But also a straw color, which it should be as well, and very clean and crisp. That's what it should be, and low esters. Um, yeah, so I made this Australian sparkling ale using Pride of Ringwood hops, which is historically Australian hops that were used in this style and still are, I believe. I used Cooper's pale malt in this, and I fermented it using the US05 yeast, which I found gives a nice clean, crisp beer. So let's see how I made it. Let's see the brew footage.
I was targeting original gravity of 46, final of 1.006, B of 28, colour of 9.9, and alcohol of 5.27. So I used 98% Cooper's pale malt and 2% Crystal Dark, except I didn't have Crystal Dark. So I mashed 63 degrees C for 60 minutes and 75 for mash out. I used Super Pride hops and US05 yeast, and I targeted a balanced Australian sparkling ale order in the Grainfather app. Here I'm adding all my malt and giving it a good mix, making sure there's no grains that's not wet, otherwise you'll get dough balls and have lower efficiency. So I'm just making sure it's all mixed in. And I didn't really need to use it, but I thought I'd use some rice hulls just because I had them there. And here I am sparging, and you can see the no stuck sparge at all. It flows really nicely. Just making sure I was topping up to get my final volume. And the kettle was almost boiling over, but I managed to stir it just in time, and there was just one single addition of Super Pride hops, or Pride of Ringwood hops, to achieve my final BU.
You can see appearance-wise, it's got a nice white fluffy head, slightly hazy, well carbonated, and a straw color. On aroma, it's pretty clean, just low esters. That's because I used US05 yeast. I did try the English strain of yeast on this initially, and I found it was too estery for this. I wanted a more crisp, easy drinking Australian sparkling ale. So yeah, maybe slight apricot on the aroma and the taste. Slight apricot, maybe a tad pear, but not much at all. On the taste, yeah, you're getting bitterness, not too much bitterness. I didn't want it too bitter, but it is bitter enough. And you are getting a slight after bitterness as well, which is very easy to drink. I find this lines up with a lager a bit more than your strong ales, but it's very good for summer. And the good beauty about this compared to lagers is that you don't need to lager it in the keg for too long. Like this has been in my keg for about 2 weeks, and it's, yeah, very nice. It's well carbonated, easy to drink, and yeah, I definitely recommend brewing it. The only caveat is in my recipe, I did want to add 2% crystal just to make it slightly darker, but I realized I didn't have any crystal malt when I started brewing, so that's a rookie error. But anyway, it's turned out good anyway without it. All the crystal malt was gonna be in there for was just to make it a bit darker, but it's nothing wrong with that color. It's probably just out of spec low for sparkling ale on the BJCP guidelines, but it's not stupid. Yeah, definitely clean, crisp, very low esters, and low hop aroma. But you do get the hop after taste, after bitterness, and well carbonated, very crisp. I recommend using USO5. It might not be exactly like a Cooper's sparkling ale, but I wasn't necessarily intending to get like that. I wanted a easy drinking, sessionable Australian sparkling ale, and I certainly have achieved that. This is very easy to drink. Yep. Well, if you like this video, hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.